Hey Raiders, it's crazy, but while the big YouTube channels were getting your hopes up and clickbaiting you with the leaked Toxic Swamp map conditions supposedly coming out this week, I took the extra time to check the upcoming trials myself and prepared a quick summary of all this week's trials in one video, with some helpful tips on each one of them. The summary will not go as in depth as my dedicated trial videos do, but when I have those ready, they will be linked in the description with some useful written guides as well. Check out what to expect from each trial, and if this video helps you in any way, don't forget to come back later this week and let me know how it went in the comments. And consider subscribing for more useful tips in the future. So, starting with Damage Queens and Matriarchs. This one can be one of the more annoying trials unless fighting the big arc enemies is what you really enjoy doing in Arc Raiders. One of the main reasons is because it needs to be done during limited events like Harvester or Matriarch, and most importantly, it cannot be done during the 2x major map conditions, so racking up points can be slow and tedious. First, some general tips. Queens are usually better for this than Matriarchs. Matriarchs have a phase change, meaning that after some damage is done to the boss, she will call reinforcements. A few big arc will drop from the sky and find someone to aggro on, most likely you, and a bunch of smaller drones will also spawn and start hunting. So you'd have to deal with all of that, and killing smaller arc doesn't help you with this particular trial. Queen is a bit more straightforward. It can be quite deadly due to its hard-hitting laser attack, but we will talk about how to deal with that in a second. In order to not miss the Harvester event when the Queen will spawn, go to Metaforge event timers page and check when the next Queen event will be starting. You can set up timers on the website or in the Metaforge overlay, so it reminds you 10 minutes before the event starts and you can prepare your loadout. One crucial tip for all trials, including this one: if you time it correctly and queue into Harvester Raid as soon as it appears on the map selection screen, you are guaranteed to get a fresh raid with 30 minutes to complete your trial. To quickly get 4,000 points, you have a few options, depending on how much risk you're ready to take. You can go with relatively cheap guns and take some time to rack up the damage. You can bring a bunch of wolf packs and just keep throwing them from cover, eventually getting 4,000 points, or you can grab a snap hook and a couple of deadline mines and a Bettina to break the top cover of the Queen's core. The top cover has two parts, so just focus on breaking one part, and as soon as that's done, place a deadline mine on the core directly for maximum damage. You also have time to place two mines and drop down, a little bit more risk for more reward. With the wolf packs, it takes quite a few resources to craft those, but will end up being much safer if you just throw them from the safety of cover. And finally, if you want to be completely safe, bring a heavy ammo weapon like Pharaoh 4 to break Queen's outer shell, and then an Osprey to specifically hit the uncovered parts for more damage later. You want to do this strategy from the top of Pipeline Tower, where you will use the building as cover from Queen's laser. This is the deadliest attack as it can melt you in seconds if you're caught in the open. To get up there, you can use a zipline from anywhere below, or you can use a snap hook right from this box to reach the roof in one swing. This way, other players will struggle to follow you up there unless they come prepared too. Once you get enough points with either of these methods, if you're aiming for 4,000 or maybe slightly more depending on how much time is left in the raid, you can safely leave through the hatch in these map conditions, so definitely bring a hatch key. Finally, if you're actually trying to get absolute maximum points for this trial in case you're pushing the leaderboard's rank, then do this as a trio, and I recommend doing this on Spaceport. The Queen will spawn here, so there are only two spots to fight the Queen from: this outer defense tower or the hangar on the opposite side. As a trio, make sure you take the height advantage in the tower and start hitting the Queen with hull crackers and other heavy weapons and grenades as soon as possible. If any other squads try to participate, they will have to do it from the warehouse, so if you want to eliminate the competition, you can consider pushing them while they're busy with the Queen aggro, eliminating them and going back to your tower spot to finish the trial and make sure most damage points go to your team. Alright, next trial is Search First Wave Husks. This trial is very straightforward. You need to go around the map looting old broken down arc. It seems that more husks spawn during the electromagnetic map conditions, so you have a choice of going to Dam Battlegrounds or Spaceport during the Electro event. You can breach and search big Baron Husks. These are good because they always spawn in the same location, so that's some guaranteed points for you on every map. Then you can search broken Rocketeer bodies and smaller Wasp bodies as well. To find these, check out Metaforge map, filter by Arc Husks, and see the general areas where these clusters appear. Not every map pin is guaranteed to spawn, but they do have pictures, and once you're in the area, keep looking around. And you can also search husks that have been opened by other players. You still get the score, so it helps to share in this trial rather than wasting time fighting other players. If you just want to quickly get your 4,000 points and get out, there's really no better way than going to Dam Battlegrounds swamp area, especially around the old battleground. You can keep going in with 3 loadouts and restarting the run by surrendering until you spawn somewhere close to the swamp in a fresh raid. There are so many Rocketeer husks around this area, just run around breaching these and you will get most of the score you need in no time. You can continue playing and looting other areas if you want to push your score even higher. If you want to specifically focus on getting as high score as possible, you'll probably prefer Spaceport during Electromagnetic Storm, because if you're lucky, it will have more husks spread around the outskirts overall, go as a squad, and while it's a bit risky, you can split and cover different areas of the map per player. 30 minutes is absolutely enough for this strategy, so you get no extra benefit trying to do this on a longer 40-minute map condition. You should be able to cover all possible husks in 30 minutes if you bring enough adrenaline shots. Next trial is damage flying arc enemies. As with most trials, there are a few ways to complete this. You'll need to decide how quickly you want this to be done and how much value are you willing to risk. If value is not an issue, just bring as many wolf packs to something like Blue Gate Electromagnetic or Night Raid and throw them at Rocketeers. There are usually Rocketeers patrolling Pilgrim's Peak and Checkpoint in pairs, as well as other Rocketeers flying above the village, reinforced reception, and so on. 2 wolf packs are usually enough for 1 Rocketeer, so if you clear smaller arc in advance and throw 4 wolf packs, it should bring down a pack of 2 Rocketeers and get you close, if not over 4,000 points you need for maximum weekly rewards. Of course, if you want to push leaderboards and want to get the highest possible scores, you'd have to continue clearing Rocketeers as well as smaller drones and waiting for their respawns throughout the whole round. You can aggro the snitches and let them spawn more flying enemies for even more score. If you're doing this with a squad, stock up on snitch scanners in advance and make sure each squad member brings at least 3 rows of snitch scanners in their inventory. Load into a 40-minute locked gate map condition on Blue Gate and keep summoning and destroying arc drones while you're waiting for the Rocketeers to respawn. If you don't want to risk any gear, go into Blue Gate Night Raid with an anvil and pull the Rocketeers one by one towards this round head house structure. You can hide inside under the roof and the Rocketeers will stay aggroed on you but will not shoot its rockets until you climb out. So you can shoot its front thrusters, and if you're lucky to destroy both thrusters without damaging the rest of the Rocketeer, it will fall on the ground and most likely flip on its head, at which point you can jump on top of it and finish it off with your Raider tool for more damage. Or just keep pulling new Rocketeers to the spot and destroying them with your anvil. This would be a low risk approach as you can control when the Rocketeer is shooting at you. Next trial is deal damage to shredders. This trial is the most straightforward this week. You can only do this on Stella Montes. The best way is doing this in friendly lobbies on a night raid, because each shredder will give you around 1300 points towards the trial. So technically you can destroy 3 or 4 shredders and get out, securing maximum rewards for this week's trial. Or if you feel like Stella Montes Night Raid has too many people hunting shredders when you're playing, you can destroy 6-7 shredders on normal Stella Montes. If you're trying to push the score high for the leaderboards, you will need a specific setup that will include a hull cracker and a lot of adrenaline shots. Of course, you have an option of going with a cheaper loadout, shooting the thrusters with something like an anvil or an El Toro while using cover to avoid shredder barrage is an effective tactic to destroy these arc bots. So is the Snap Blast, Impact, or Trigger nades. Although Snap Blast is not ideal, the shredder might decide to push you with the sticky grenade on and you will suffer damage from your own nades. The best way so far is running around the map with a primary that is good at destroying small arc and in PvP, so maybe a Venator, and a hull cracker as a secondary. 2 shots to the thrusters will destroy any shredder. Look how quickly this is, just aim for the thrusters as it's getting closer and it will blow up in just 2 bullets. Whether you just want to get 4,000 or so points as quickly as possible, or if you want to push for the max score, the strategy is going through the map, 2-shotting shredders quickly and moving on to the next area, hoping for shredder respawns. Sandbox can have up to 3 shredders and an extra one hanging out on the 2nd floor. Archives have up to 3, and Medical as well as Lobby usually have 2 each. Lots of other shredders scatter around the map, so just catch the respawns, especially in the last 18 minutes of the raid when new raiders stop spawning on the map. The next trial is Open Arc Probes. This trial rewards your map knowledge and paying close attention to the environment. It's very straightforward once you know what you're looking for, and in terms of the best map, some prefer Spaceport because how many potential probes can spawn all around the map, while others prefer Dam simply because the map is more compact and there's just less running around. So it's up to you which one you like more, but one thing is certain, currently the best map condition for this is Electromagnetic Storm. Lore-wise, these storms are bringing the probes down, so on this event timer, you'll be able to find full clusters of 3 probes, often lying around in close proximity. The strategy for this is simple. Check the Metaforge map for potential spawns to identify where the clusters might appear. They are not guaranteed but should show you the closest spot to your spawn to start farming. Start moving to the spot, looking for black smoke coming from the ground. It will be coming from either a crashed probe or a crashed arc courier. Once you get within 50 meters from the smoke, open your in-game map and a little probe icon will appear. If it is showing arc courier, ignore it because it does not give you points for this trial. But if it is a probe, breach and search it and look around for more. Usually they spawn in clusters of 3 probes lying around during this event. Even if the probe has been searched, it will still show up on your map and you can still search it for points, but it will not be emitting black smoke. So check in with the Metaforge map for potential clusters and then keep opening your in-game map to not miss any opened probes later in the raid. Just 3 probes should be enough during Electromagnetic Storm to reach 4,000 score because each will give you 1,334 points. But if you're trying to push leaderboards, you will want to do it with a full squad or bring 30 or more adrenaline shots to be able to cover the whole map and never stop moving. Remember, for this trial you don't need to spend time fighting other players, as you can search probes that were already opened by other raiders, so sharing is caring on this one. Alright raiders, this should cover all this week's trials and hopefully give you some ideas on how you want to approach them this time around. If this video helped you in any way, gave you new ideas, or was enjoyable to watch, press that like button and subscribe to the channel, as every single subscriber is a huge help to my channel and it encourages YouTube to share this video with more raiders out there. I really appreciate every single one of you for watching until the end. See you soon, you absolute legends. Crazy Trick out.